All right, shalom, shalom. Like to say all praises due to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Rakakadash. Double honors to the elder apostles of great millstone. Peace and blessings to all you brothers teaching the truth and sincerity throughout the four corners of the globe, underneath the standard and the banner of Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai. All right, and what you see on the screen is a biblical prophecy. All right. I'm not going to read the whole thing because it goes into financial, how can I say, financial lingo. But I got a couple of videos that help with that. All right. And yeah, this is definitely the time, okay, of Esau's downfall. You know, the scriptures say that we're supposed to stay occupied in prophecy, which that is what we're doing in these days. Okay. And so without further ado, because I don't want to try to make this lengthy, but I want it to be edifying to say the least. This is from Zero Hedge. It says U.S. budget deficit triples to record 3.1 trillion in 2020. Okay, which is the year of prophecy, clear vision, and all that. Okay, because this is the time that the Lord spoke of. Okay, Matthew's 24, Luke the 12th chapter, second Esdras, okay, 9, so on and so forth. So many prophetic books and verses that it speaks upon, and I'm gonna grab some of those precepts that goes into the economics during this time. All right, but let's just get to the reading. Let's see. It says, as U.S. spends 90% more than it collects. Okay. And says by Tyler Durden. You know, he has a lot of articles that's prophetic, but he's an Edomite. But when I say prophetic, it's just that he's writing about the times that he knows nothing about. Okay, so that's what I mean by that. It says, because the Lord ultimately put the spirit, he can put the spirit on anybody. Okay, it just doesn't have to be the nation of Israel, but it was shown in the scriptures that Nebuchadnezzar, Balaam, so on and so forth. All right. It says those who have been following the record surge in U.S. public debt, okay, excluding the roughly 100 trillion in off-balance sheet obligations, which exploded by 3 trillion in the 3 months following the COVID shutdowns, and which just hit an all-time high at 27.1 trillion this week, will be all too aware that the U.S. budget deficit this year and every year after will be staggering. Okay? And this is true, man. This is the end of Esau Edom's kingdom. Okay? And when you look up Rome, when Rome fell, the denarius, okay, was devalued significantly. Okay? At one point in time, it was precious metal, which was, I believe it was silver, okay? But throughout time, they put other impure metals into the denarius, which made the denarius devalue, making those sellers or buyers in that day having to pay more or how can you say it? Pay more or spend inflation type rates. Okay. So I'm going to get to the videos, right? And one of the videos I want you to see is the stock market is ignoring the Salaki. Okay.
Stock market is back up after falling off a cliff earlier this year. You know, we've had these furious rallies.
So in this video, it's going to show you how only certain businesses are going to thrive and the rest are laid low. Okay. And I got a scripture for that, which is in Zephaniah. Okay. And hey, this thing is this roller coaster ride has now started. You know, when you once you put down that, I don't know if a lot of brothers went to amusement parks or whatever when they was growing up, but you know, once you put down that bar and it clicks and the ride starts going, okay, you about to we're about to see the climatic point and go through the whole ride, okay, which is turns, bends, spins, loop-de-loops, whatever the case may be, man. Okay. And this is a surefire way to see that the Lord is visiting the earth at this time, like it says in 2nd Ezra, the 9th chapter. Right, so let me just play it.
Investors continue to put their money into our stock market.
You're seeing new record highs on the S&P and NASDAQ.
Major indexes haven't just recovered from the coronavirus shock, they're on a historic winning streak. But while stocks climbed, millions lost their jobs and fell out of the labor force. Companies say more layoffs could come this fall. This means that the wealthiest Americans are netting huge returns, while the poorest are losing opportunities to make money.
I think the question on everyone's mind has been, how is the economy so bad while the stock market is soaring higher and higher?
Okay, so I'm going to bring up the first precept on that. Because these devils, they think that they got it all worked out. All right. And this is Proverbs 22:16. All right. And it says, he that oppresses the poor to increase his riches, and he that giveth to the rich shall surely come to want. All right. And I'm gonna let the video play, but that's what time we're in. Okay, because you gotta understand, and it's another video that I'm gonna play with Gerald Salente, and he's gonna break it down even more. But these devils have set themselves up to gain while they take out the middle class. Okay, and that's why I read this scripture. All right, because he's gaining, and he thinks that's what's gonna put him in the ruling class. All right. And Gerald Salente, he had a lot to say in this one video that I'm going to play, but I'm going to let this video play out. Okay. And then I'm going to bring that video in. All right.
To get a sense for the disconnect, you can look at the labor market.
We still have 11 million people out of the 22 million who were laid off in the payroll numbers in March and April. Still 11 million out there, and that's really good progress. We've put fully half of those back to work, but that's a long way to go.
Our economy had come to a standstill during the pandemic. Americans are getting laid off. They're making less money. They're spending less money, and all of that hurts our economy.
About half of the work.
Mind you, how can you run a country that has people that were the number one consumers in the world, okay, go down to not spending any money because there is no money generating? Okay, just keep that in mind.
In the leisure and hospitality industry lost their jobs this summer. Casinos, airports, and music venues sat virtually empty. That's weighing on consumer spending. It plummeted in March. and still hasn't reached pre-pandemic levels. Experts say that this is unlikely to change until the virus is contained. That means businesses are making fewer sales and hiring fewer people. There were 10.7 million fewer US jobs in September versus February. That will make it more difficult for the unemployed to find work. Despite a crumbling economy, the stock market has soared, and there are a few forces driving that rally.
Hey, yo, the truth, okay, through the power and spirit of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. It's no joke, because I can remember a time when the elder apostles of Great Millstone taught right where that bull was, man. Okay. So this thing is coming full circle, man. All right. And this is a part of prophecy, man. All right. And I'm gonna get that. But like I said, I'm gonna just make my little commentary statements, and then let the videos play on. Salaki brothers.
Most notable were the policies coming out of America's central bank.
We acted forcefully to get our markets working again, and as a result, market conditions have generally improved.
In March, the Fed made emergency loans available to banks, local governments, and other players in the global economy. That kept investors optimistic about the future, and that can drive up the markets. Investors said the Fed stepped in like they never had before. Their response was quicker and more muscular than ever before.
And that brings me back to that Proverbs 22. Okay. It's I believe it was 16, if I'm not mistaken. All right. Let me just check that out. Yeah, 16. Okay. We're gonna play on.
And that was a key driver for the stock market this spring.
The bank started by slashing interest rates to near zero, which made it cheaper to borrow money. Then the bank started to buy debt. By September, the Fed controlled $7 trillion worth of assets, up from $4 trillion at the beginning of the pandemic.
Over coming months, we will continue to increase our holdings of Treasury securities and agency mortgage-backed securities, at least at the current pace. These asset purchases are intended to sustain smooth market functioning and help foster accommodative financial conditions.
The bank's purchasing has sent yields on traditionally safe government debt to near all-time lows. That's driving investors toward stocks. Treasuries all of a sudden don't look as attractive because the yield on them is so low. So if you want returns, you might as well go to stocks. And that's kind of the calculus that a lot of investors have been doing. And it's actually, people call it the quote-unquote Tina effect. There is no alternative to stocks because yields are just so low. Where else are you going to go for returns? This and other actions from the Fed propped up the markets, and the money that flowed from these policies went into one section of the market in particular: technology. Tech stocks lifted entire market indexes this year. You can see that by comparing the tech-heavy NASDAQ and S&P indices to the performance of the Dow Jones Industrial Average. It's easy to think like, wow, stocks are doing so well. But what we've seen this year is that it's really a handful of stocks that are doing really well. And those are mainly technology companies. Apple, Microsoft, Amazon, Facebook, Alphabet,
So these companies right here, and this is how they killing the middle class, okay? Because I'm just gonna, speak as a man, being employee instead of a employer, all right? And these major 500 Fortune 500 companies, right? We're not able to buy stock into that. Okay, their stocks, they start at damn near overwhelming prices, such as 500 and up. I mean, if brothers have it, they have it. But most brothers that was living from paycheck to paycheck, getting our daily bread to take care of our household that we was in or whatever. Okay, and the bills that we procured, we wasn't able to get into this this stock ride, so to speak. Okay, and that's one way of oppressing a person, like it says in Proverbs 22:16. Okay, we have the knowledge of what we need to do, but just like High Guy said, man, we don't have enough to get up to that level, okay, of what we need to do to ride a wave, so to speak, of securing more wealth. Not that it mattered, but you know what I'm saying? It's just like extra cushion so that you can, be defensive on your part. Okay. So I'm gonna let the video play on, and she's gonna ultimately say that.
Big names offered products that were crucial to live life and conduct business in the pandemic, and their leaders took note on earnings calls this summer.
This was a strong quarter for us, especially compared to what we expected at the start.
We began to see a significant increase in customer demand beginning in early March.
In an uncertain environment, Apple saw a quarter of historic results.
Investors expect solid earnings from these companies, which will boost demand for their stock.
You really can't overstate how well these tech companies have done this year and what a big role that plays in driving the S&P 500 up higher. Apple alone recently was worth more than all of the stocks in the FTSE 100 index or all of the companies in the Russell 2000 index of small stocks.
Tech stocks are doing so well that their gains are outweighing losses in financial companies and energy stocks, which haven't been able to rally. Smaller businesses are hurting too. Bill Ackman of Pershing Square Holdings said that if there were a stock market index of private small businesses, it would likely be down 50% or more. While investors lock in expectations for earnings in tech, a flood of action from individual investors is also changing the markets.
You're seeing newbie investors who had never traded before. They were stuck at home during the pandemic and they opened up brokerage accounts because it's never been easier to trade. It's never been easier to open an account.
Digital brokers like Robinhood offer commission-free trade.
So I'm a person that's on Robinhood, and the only investments I have been able to make are low-level investments that don't yield the type of earnings or diversity earnings that you look for when you buy stocks, so to speak. It's too late in the game. Okay, so this is true. A lot of people that had, like 401ks and they got money or whatever, or, they saved up until this point in time, they was buying large stocks, which would yield that diversity that they was looking for. Okay. And I wasn't one of those people. So, I bought stock in in little healthcare stocks, so to speak. When I say healthcare, I mean like pharmaceuticals and things of that nature, because that is what's prevalent today. And I had to cash out all those stocks, man. I had to cash them all out. So I'm in holding right now with how much I gained off of those little stocks, and I'm trying to make figure out a way to put it into something that's gonna just yield a little increase. You know what I'm saying? More than what I was making before, but it's not much. I only got like probably like $50 in Robinhood, because like I said, I'm not wealthy, and that's the point of me doing this show, man. How they killing the middle class. Okay, had we known this when things were good and flowing, okay, maybe the outcome of having money as a defense in these days would be more better, say it that way. Okay, but this is something new that I'm trying, and this is why I kind of wanted to do this lesson, or to sit down. But I just want to make people aware that it doesn't matter what you do. All right. And the end of Esau's kingdom is here, because he can't even manipulate the numbers anymore. It's getting out of control. And I'm gonna play the video that Gerald Salente was speaking. All right.
Which has drawn more investors into the market. During the first 6 months of the year, individual investors made up about 20% of market activity. That's about a 5 percentage point jump from last year. Analysts said smaller investors drove up stocks like Nikola and Eastman Kodak, but they don't impact bigger names like Apple and Tesla. Brokers are making markets more accessible, but that's not helping the bottom half of American workers. Workers from lower income households were more likely to lose their jobs in the pandemic, and many in this group have historically been shut out of the stock market. Most stocks are held by the top 10% of Americans by wealth, according to data from the Federal Reserve. Charts like this sum up why a booming stock market seems disconnected from the economic reality for many Americans.
So there you have it. Okay. Now I'm one of those people that's on the bottom, not on the top. All right. And hey man, this is all according to prophecy, man. This ain't something that men of the Lord we loom on this. We don't loom on this. It's just a sign that this is it, man. Okay, and we gotta do better with preparing ourselves spiritually and mentally for the troublesome times that's coming, man. Okay, just like you seen on that brother's pop up just now on my screen. Okay, I'm pretty sure brothers know who that is. All right, so let me get to the second video here. All right, which is edifying in itself. Okay, I'm go here. I'm gonna start at
An October surprise awaits. That's what my guest today is alarming and letting us know. He is Gerald Salente, editor and publisher of the Trends Journal. Gerald, I'm really happy to see you. Welcome to the show.
It's great being on with you. It's one of my favorite hosts.
Thank you.
Of course,
Well, you're one of my favorite people to interview, even though people were
policy, quantitative easing, and buying up corporate junk bonds. So as we all know, and the people that are listening all know, that the game is rigged. It's totally rigged in front of our eyes. Oh, you remember the repo market thing a year ago, back in September? Oh yeah, what was it? What were they doing? Only $7 trillion they dumped in between September and January of 2019. Yeah. So what's different this time? The other big difference this time is I mentioned about how economy after economy, government after government, they've locked down. What's keeping it up? All the cheap money they're dumping into the system.
See, and he's talking about, you know, the the Federal Reserve printing off money that's not backed by any type of standard, gold or silver. Okay, they just was dumping money into the system, and he's gonna go into it. Okay, he's the best example of explaining economics simply. Okay,
negative and zero interest rate policy. So why would anybody, to me, and I'm only speaking for myself, I don't give financial advice, why would they want this digital trash backed by nothing and printed on nothing when they just keep printing more and more of it? So let's go to the United States. Go back to January. Daniela, we're going to have $1 trillion trade deficit this year. Wow, $1 trillion date. And now what is it going to be? Only $3 trillion. Because they pump more money in. And now they're coming up with a new deal. You're going to see another $1 trillion or 2 or 3 dumped back in. So this.
And this is referring to the stimulus deal, and then more bailouts. And it's gonna crash the economy, man. Okay. So he has a lot to say, man. I'm just gonna let it play, and then I'm just gonna bring out the scriptures. Lord's will, this is edifying, you know. to say the least, man.
Is devaluing all the currencies around the world, except one, and that is the Chinese, the yuan. Because what China's doing, and they're calling it a dual circulation, they know, the Chinese, that the global trade isn't going to be near what it used to be. So they're building up the internal economy, making it more self-sustaining. They got 1.4 billion people. We keep doing business with each other. 1.4 billion people will keep this thing going.
So why would the U.S. risk that, Gerald? Why would they risk losing the reserve currency status of the world?
Because
you know why they would do that? Because that is a great way to implement the RFID microchip in the digital currency system. Okay, blockchain, digital currency, such as like, for example, bitcoins. Okay, things of that nature, man. That's what's all coming into play. Revelations, the 13th chapter. That's why they're risking it all, man. Okay, and this was prophesied by Daniel. All right, and she's gonna say one key thing. You know, the female commentator. She's gonna say it. She's gonna say why would they do it and how. You know, just give it a second.
Because they have no other choice. The economy, the people are broke. What's keeping retail sales up? You know the numbers. People were getting more money with that $600 a week than they were making the jobs they had. They know that they have to artificially prop this up. It's every country's doing it. Every country is doing it. France, Italy, the whole European Union, one country after another. India, South Africa just went a couple of months or so ago, borrowed more money from the IMF.
And what do you notice in all these in some of those countries? Okay, you're seeing uprising of the people, man. Okay, and it's due mainly to this economic woes. Let's say that. All right, people have figured out that the governments are duping them, okay, and making them broke and poor, and it's a no. Okay, it's the people are gonna reject their princes and their kings, man, their kings and their princes, like the scriptures say. Okay, from Second Ezra, the 16th chapter. All right. So we got biblical prophecy happen live. It's happening live and direct in front of us, man, and there's no doubt about it.
One after another. They're doing this artificially because when people lose everything and have nothing left to lose, they lose it. And you're seeing violence going up. They want to keep it quiet, and money will do it.
So things to watch of a coming stock market collapse so people can be prepared. So, you know, a second wave of the virus, prolonged labor market weakness, inadequate stimulus, market dynamics, high valuations, heavy concentration, political uncertainty. Have I covered all the bases?
You got it. I mean, it's right in front of everybody's eyes.
The formula, okay? And that's what we're going through, man. So this time is definitely the time, all right, that Yahweh Shai spoke about, okay, and the prophets of old spoke about, man. And we're seeing it live and direct, man. It's just a couple of more things that I want brothers to hear, and then I'm gonna bring out the scriptures and, you know, close it out. Lord's will is edifying once again through the power and spirit of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai. All right.
It's right. Why the hell are the equity markets going up when you have an economic crisis like this going on? Every major country is going to have a negative GDP this year. Oh, except one, China. You're looking at about 2.5. You know, as I said, the 20th century was the American century. The 21st century is going to be the Chinese century.
And that's not true because Yahushua is coming. Okay, we're not gonna be oppressed into another captivity, so to speak. Not the Israelites, man. That's not how the Lord is bringing this thing. Okay, let me move it up to I think it was like 1504. I want this part to play though. Then I'll move it up to 1504.
We've spoken about how you protect yourself in the past. I know you are a believer in gold. Have you changed your positioning at all? Have you been doing anything different the past 6 months that we haven't spoken?
No, gold and silver. And in the Trends Journal, we said in June that silver prices were going to spike a higher percentage than gold.
Are
So
you still
gold-
buying today, or are you all stocked up? You feel good?
Oh, I started buying gold in 1978.
All right, so you're good. Will it change dependent on who wins the election, Gerald?
No, not a bit. Not as I say it. Not as I say. It's out of their control. It's out of their control. Hey, you remember a place, I think I met you down there once, called New York City.
It's my home today. Yes, I know it well.
Yeah, and you know how dead it is. And in a million years, you could have never imagined it. I'm a Bronx guy.
I know.
I used to say Bronx boy, but
you are a proud, I'm an adopted New Yorker. You are the real.
And that's pretty much where I'm gonna take the lessons from there and bring it out. But that was the seat of commerce. Okay. When Frank Sinatra made that song, you can make it here, you can make it anywhere. Okay. It's different facets to that thought process. And if you can do business in New York City, all right, you can do business anywhere in the country. So that's why the stock market is planted there, amongst other reasons, but mainly because that was the first place where major deals were done on the Israelites, okay, Negroes, Latinos, okay, and Native Americans, man, okay, but mainly the tribe of Judah, okay. That's where big business was held at, okay, when you read Revelations, the 18th chapter, all right, when they sold the souls of men, okay, that's where it started from. So hey, these are prophetic times, man, okay. And it's the end of Esau's kingdom, whether he likes it or not, just like he finished just singing that little ditty, okay. They can't stop it. It's not to be stopped, all right. Let me move it to 15, okay, and then I'm gonna close it on out.
If it stays locked down, it's going to be hell on earth. Look at the businesses going out of business. You put your whole life into your business, a bar, a retail shop, whatever it might, a florist, and it's gone. It's gone. So the bigs are going to get bigger. Mm-hmm. Oh, the numbers just came out again today. The billionaires got richer. Right. The billionaires got richer. The bigs got bigger. That's what's going to happen. We all become plantation workers on the global plantation of Slavelandia.
And that's the New World Order. All right. So let me just get the scripts, man, because hey, men of the Lord, men that's been studying and diligently observing, being circumspect in these days. Hey, this is it, man. This is it. This is it, man. Okay. It's the time of Jacob's trouble. It's a time of great famine upon the earth. It's a time of things that were never seen before on the earth, man. Okay? Every country is going to be in, in turmoil, okay, on the face of the planet Earth, man. Okay? And rightfully so, because Esau Edom has ruined the course of the earth, okay, and the boundaries that the Most High set up. All right. So let's just get right into the scripts, man. That's it. Okay. It's a lucky that it took so long, and I'm gonna read this one again. This is Proverbs 22:16. He said, "He that oppresses the poor to increase his riches, and he that giveth to the rich shall surely come to want." Okay, and that's what all these these politicians, all these upper echelons people, all right, when this place falls, and it will, all right, they're gonna be sad, man. They're gonna be sad, just like it says right here. Okay, I'm gonna start at 10 to get to the point in 11. Okay, this is Zephaniah 1 and 10, and it says, "And it shall come to pass in that day, said the Lord, that there shall be the noise of a cry from the fish gate, and a howling from the second, and a great crashing from the hills." Okay, and that's the economy, the world economy falling, man. Okay, the fish gate is somewhere that business was being done. Okay, a fishmonger, a person calling out, "Yeah, I got 2 pounds of halibut for such and such," you know, and then the person be like, "Yeah, well, can I get it for this much?" You know, you haggle back and forth, and that's what the stock market is, man. Okay, but he said it's going to be a cry from there, and that's they propping themselves up like Gerald Salente said, man, and that can't be good. That can't be good. And just like I read in Proverbs 22 right now and 16, it's not going to be good. Because in verse 11, right, it says, "How ye inhabitants of Mektesh, for all the merchants people are cut down, all they that bear silver are cut off." Okay, so all those places, like Gerald Salente said, after 15, he said they're all closing down. Everything is closing. Everything that you put your hard-earned money into, if you had a business, is at its brink right now. It's going to come to naught. Okay, so that's what the inhabitants of Mactash are saying right now. All these small businesses around your local area. I know here I used to do a thing called caviar, where you pick up food and drop it off to people or whatever. But that business has dropped significantly, man. It's not open, but the big conglomerates, where it's like Burger King, McDonald's, you know, and you're not getting paid anything off of that because it's 20% of a delivery. So if you get a $3 delivery and 20% of that goes to that company that you're doing it for, you're not really making no money, man. Okay, because most of the money that I used to make was coming from these privatized restaurants. Okay, because the tip, all right, the tip from those customers will be heftier, and whatever they order, okay, would be restaurant portion. Okay, they was ordering not one meal, they was ordering bags of food, man. Okay, but those places are closed. They're gone overnight. Okay, so for all the merchant people are cut down. Let me read it again from 11, verse 11. "How you inhabitants of Mektesh, for all the merchant people are cut down, all they that bear silver are cut off." So these merchants that had their own business. They was in the money, so to speak. They was doing commerce. Okay, they had traffic going about their daily business, their daily flow. Okay, it was traffic in their businesses. Okay, and when I say traffic, I mean business, commerce. Okay, but that stopped abruptly with those 3 months, just like Gerald Salente was saying. Okay, and then I'm gonna go to let me go ahead real quick. Daniel's 2 and 4, because that was spoken about at the beginning. 2 and 42, Salaki. I'll start at because it started with the Brit exit, but hey, it's gonna trickle down. Okay, shit rolls downhill, so to speak. And this is Daniel. I'll start at 41. Daniel's 2 and 41. It says, "And whereas thou sawest the feet and toes part of potter's clay and part of iron, the kingdom shall be divided. Okay, but there shall be in it of the strength of the iron, for as much as thou sawest the iron mixed with miry clay, and as the toes of the feet were part of iron and part of clay, so the kingdoms shall be partly strong and partly broken." Okay, and when you go into the toes, that's the EU. All right, and even though those places are standing, man, they're barely making it, because you just heard Gerald Salente go into, they're pumping fake money into their economy as well. Okay, same thing with America. So our deficit is sky high. Okay, these other countries, they're barely even making it. Okay, that's what the Brit exit was about. Okay, so it's prophetic things going on here. Okay, it's high time to wake out of slumber, so to speak, and realize that the kingdom of Esau is at its end. All right, because when you go into that word clay, it means debt, man. Okay, that's what it means. So you've seen the deficit, and he says still going to be more fake money pumped into the deficit as we speak. And lo and behold, they're talking about a new stimulus package that comes with bailouts for who? It's not for the small businessmen, but for those giant companies again. Okay, so they're gonna become richer and richer. That's what it's all about. Okay, for Esau Edom. So his kingdom is crumbling as we speak, man. I'm gonna grab this. What is it? James 5:1. All right, and then I'm gonna close it out after this. This is James 5:1. It says, "Go to now, ye rich men, weep and howl for your miseries that shall come upon you. Your riches are corrupted, and your garments are moth-eaten." Okay, that's what we're getting ready to see, man. Okay, we're getting ready to see the collapse of the economy, which, like he said, the financial advisor Gerald Salente, he said this. He said that, you know, he thinks that China's going to be the dominant factor after all of this, but he definitely said that the money here in America was going to be no more. Okay, and I don't remember what time snippet it was, but the young lady, she asked what was going to happen to the U.S. dollar after that, and Gerald Salente, he alluded to saying that it will have to be some form of reset, so to speak. Okay, he hates the digital currency idea, but he knows about it. All right, and that's what it's going to be. But your riches are corrupted, and your garments are moth eaten. Your gold and silver is cankered, and the rust of them shall be a witness against you, and shall eat your flesh as it were fire. You have heaped treasures together for the last days. All right. So I wanna get this in the NLT real quick to show brothers. All right. What is expressly saying. Okay. And it says, this is James 5:3. It says, your gold and silver are corroded. The very wealth you were counting on will eat away your flesh like fire. This corroded treasure you have hoarded will testify against you on the day of judgment. and basically, that's what's going to happen. Okay? Because it says that you're, let me get it real quick. Shalaki brothers. This is Zephaniah 1:18. All right. I didn't plan on bringing this out, but the Spirit, you know, just had to bring it out. It says, Zephaniah 1:18, it says, neither their silver nor their gold shall be able to deliver them in the day of the Lord's wrath, but the whole land shall be devoured by the fire of his jealousy, for he shall make even a speedy riddance of all them that dwell in the land. Okay? So he's basically saying, all right, in the scripture, and it's prophesied that the wealthy in this country, they're done for, man, because they put all their faith inside of money. Okay, and he's going to take it all away. He's going to take everything away. He's going to burn those very same people, like it said in Proverbs 22:16. He's going to take them. He's going to take them out, man. They're going to be as wood for the fire, so to speak. Okay. So I just wanted to bring that out, man, to speak on the prophecies that are actually happening, okay, on a day-to-day basis, as well as the great prophecies that are yet to come, man. All right. So with that, I want to say all praises due to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rakakadash, and double honors to the elder apostles of Great Millstone. Abad Babal, Kum Yasharala, Shalom.